Uh, Hi there, I'm Dominick Aviado, and this is my midpoint proposal. I'm creating a dynamic typography generator. So I was born in the Bay Area and have lived and worked in the Philippines for 4 years after graduating, and I was an art director at McCann Erickson in Manila. My dream is to be a UX or UI designer, maybe move up to lead designer or even creative director of an energizing company. So some things I've made. I designed the Coca-Cola logo for their 100th year anniversary in the Philippines, and the logo was on every can of Coke, advertisement, and billboard for 2012. I also worked at a startup magazine called Radar Manila as lead art director and built the brand from the ground up. I designed the logo, attended shoots, designed the layout of the magazine. Some things I've made here at the Academy. I made this app called Squad Chat, which is a chat app with a twist. You can only have a limited amount of friends. Another feature of it is a friend locator. You can find your friends in loud and crowded environments like music festivals or noisy bars. And that tested very well in the target market. And this is my final project for 617. I also made Basque. It's an online magazine for Filipino beach culture. The site would have articles and reviews of products or beaches, and it would even have a wave forecast for surfers. So for my first seed idea, I have Project Moku, which is a branching interactive narrative. This is my final project for 643, and the inspiration came from those Choose Your Own Adventure books. So at the end of each chapter, the user is given a choice, leading to multiple choices of endings. However, I decided not to use this for my midpoint presentation because it would rely heavily on the content of the writing and the illustration, which I'm not quite good at, and things that the web design new media department couldn't help me with. My second seed idea is called The Time Room. It's another interactive narrative. It's based off of the graphic novel Here by Richard Maguire. So this site would tell the story over aeons of time. It would be a room viewed at different points of history, and users can click and resize windows to travel through time. The writing and visual development would be more simple than Project Moku, I feel. For my third seed idea, I'm doing kinetic typography, an interactive audio and visual experience. So typing letters on the keyboard will make animated letters appear on screen with a sound effect. So you can type out words or sentences, and they'll be beautifully animated. I feel like this project is most aligned with my past work and future creative goals. So for my final idea abstract, I'm creating a dynamic typography generator. This would be an audio-visual experience with animated typography. Users can explore different combinations of letters and make animated words, sentences, lyrics, or poetry that are generated in real time. So what makes this unique? It will be animated with code, not with a motion graphics program. So it'll allow real-time animation while typing. So for the topic competitor, I picked Animography. They're a type foundry that makes animated typefaces in After Effects. So the animations come as an AEP file and can be customized for color, but the file has to be rendered into a video before viewing. So I have some samples of their work. There you go. So it's very colorful, very quirky, and really well animated. So this is kind of the level of design and animation I'm aiming for. Okay. For my functional competitor, I'm using the work of Jono Brandel, who created Patatap and Typotion. So he explores the idea of synesthesia, which is perceiving letters with words and sounds. And I'll show you Patatap right now. Are the speakers working? Should I? Okay. So this website, Patatap, you just type and it will make animated shapes with each letter. So if you type your name out, that's my name, they'll all be animated. Oops. that's weird.
You should be able to
Something.
hit the green.
The green?
The green circle.
Oh, there you go. Oh, okay. So some inspirations. I have the Incredibox, which is this quirky interactive musical that lets users mix a cappella samples aligned to a beat. You'll just drag a symbol onto a guy's shirt, and it'll have some crazy combinations. I have it open here. Oh, it has to load a bit.
We can edit all this stuff out. So
Oh, okay, okay. So you just drag symbols on to the guy's shirt. You can add more. So it all kind of just works together and easy to use. My other inspiration is kinetic typography. It's a common motion graphics assignment with thousands of examples on YouTube and Vimeo. So yeah. For my target audience, the primary target audience would be creative types, so male and female, 20 to 45-year-olds, graphic designers, techies, typography fans, digital musicians, animators, and maybe even writers and poets. And the secondary target audience would be ideally everyone, because I'd want this project to be entertaining and easy to use for anyone who has a browser. So for my key persona, I have Mervin Ignacio, age 40, from the Philippines, but currently working as senior creative manager at Lego in Denmark. He's my former creative director at McCann World Group, and he studied computer engineering, then switched to copywriting for advertising. He also created a popular comic called Skyworld in the Philippines, using characters from Filipino mythology. So the design of my thesis would have to be pretty phenomenal to impress his high standards. So this is my mood board. I'm aiming for something very colorful and kind of hints at movement even when the letter forms are at rest. And the simple shapes would make it also easy to animate. So for my proof of concept, here's my information architecture map. So as soon as you visit the screen, the first thing you'll see would be the type window, followed by different options. So for the interface, when you visit it, the biggest thing is the type area. And when you hit the space bar, it'll push the previous line up. So when you type out a poem or lyrics, they're already arranged in order. And then at the bottom, you have options for type, typography, color, speed of the animations, play a background video, and then finally save creation. Here's some of my own type designs. So again, I'm trying to go for simple forms that would be easy to animate and also kind of hint at movement while still at rest. And perhaps even use existing typefaces. The one at the bottom is Futura. So for my user story, I have Lucy, who's a visual designer in New York City. She likes typography, posting GIFs to Tumblr, and has 20 Pinterest boards. She wants to make a GIF with a nice typography to post as a witty comment on Tumblr. And the user flow is pretty simple, as you can see. So for the first step, she'll visit the page, and it's intentionally left as a blank canvas, as she discovers typing will animate letters on screen. For step 2, she can type words or her name. In step 3, she'll try options, like changing the color or the speed. And when she's happy with what she's made, she can download the GIF as an animation to post to her Tumblr. So for my second user story, I have Greg. He's a motion graphics artist. He likes extreme sports and shooting footage with his GoPro or drone. And he wants to make a GIF with a lyric in a music video to post to his website. So his user flow will be a little longer. He'll be connecting it to YouTube. So the first 3 steps are actually the same. He'll visit the page, start typing letters or his name, and then changing the options. But he can also select a YouTube video to play in the background by simply providing a link. And that will play in the background, which will allow him to type lyrics over top the music video. And finally, he can save his creation into a GIF to use in any way he wants. So for my project name, I'm kind of settled on Typotion, which is typography and motion together. And the word potion also has like a magic, almost hallucinatory feel to it. So I'm working with animated type, so I think it's a fitting name. So feasibility-wise, ideally, the user should be able to pick between multiple different typefaces to suit their needs. But that would take a long time and be pretty difficult. For example, etymography, they took a team of artists just to create one set. So realistically, I could create just a single case alphabet without punctuation and develop the interface myself over the course of my thesis. But if time allows, I can always add more typefaces to increase the scope of my project. So for my class timeline, I'm taking a lot of type design classes and also type and motion classes, motion graphics, more graphic design, and also finishing up my coding. Because I love working with logos and working with typography. And I've been especially drawn to coding and motion graphics while here at AAU. And this project feels like a natural extension of my personal creative goals. And with the amount of JavaScript that will be required for this project, it'll be a great opportunity to confront and overcome my code nemesis head-on, which is JavaScript. So some technical requirements. I'll be using HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and maybe jQuery for the interface. And the sound design will be from FreeSound. But the majority of it will be with JavaScript animation. I'll be using 2.js, tween.js, and maybe even 3.js for the three-dimensional elements. So I found this really great technical resource called Annotype, which actually teaches the code language for 2.js. So you just click on a letter, and it'll be animated there. And you can type and make changes to the animation, and it'll show up. And some people have also submitted something. So the power with 2.js, you can do some pretty nice, smooth animations with just JavaScript and code. So it's very, very quick. You don't have to render it. So this website would be really helpful in helping me learn. So other than Annotype, I'll be getting topic research from the Chrome experiments, 3.js galleries, P5 galleries, and I'll getting resource help from Stack Overflow, W3 Schools, Codecademy. And for experts, I was able to get into contact with Jono Brandel, the creator of Patatop, and he's the one who linked me to the JavaScript library he maintains for 2.js. I also have Michael Chen, a family friend here in San Francisco. He's a developer. He could help troubleshoot my project. And also the AAU professors and their workshops. And that's it. That's my presentation.